Hello, I'm Richard Ridge. For BroadwayWorld, James Lecesne is back on the New York stage giving a tour de force performance in his new play, The Absolute Brightness of Leonard Pelkey, under the direction of Tony Speciale. And I caught up with James and company on opening night. Congratulations. I so want to live in your world.
I want everyone to have the opportunity to do the show. It's so much fun. I actually want people to do the show.
I was going to ask you, how much fun are you having up there?
It's amazing. I mean, you know, I love this world that I've created, but it only comes alive when people are sitting there and they can imagine it happening, and I can tell they're imagining it, and that's what brings it to life. It's so much fun. It's just so much fun. And also to be able to encourage people to be themselves. What could be better than that, than getting people to be just more themselves, right?
What was tonight like for you? What about a star-studded house you had there? What is that like?
You know, as I was coming over to the theater, there were people I was thinking about, like Alex Sharp and Tanya Pinkins and Duncan Sheik, and you know, these are people I really, really, really admire, who've really changed my life. Yeah. Because of their performances. That, you know, Linda Lavin, these are people who really changed my life because of their performances. So to be able to just to be able to give back to them was a wonderful experience.
And what this whole journey has been like for you with working on this, first at Dixon Place and now up here?
It's been fast. You know, it only took 40 years, but you know, the actual gestation of this piece from a year ago, performing it in Provincetown at this little festival called Afterglow that's in Provincetown, to suddenly a year later, we're here off Broadway at the Westside Theatre, it's kind of amazing how quickly it all happened. And, you know, it takes many helping hands of heaven to sort of move it along in the right place, and it takes many ticket buyers.
Congratulations. I was there yesterday. I loved this. It's opening night. How do you feel?
I'm so ecstatic. I love this play, and it's been so fun to do it at the West Side. I couldn't be happier. I'm really thrilled.
What has this whole journey been like for you, Tony, with working with James on this?
I've loved every second. He's an incredible storyteller. He's very generous. He's really funny. He's wickedly smart, and I think we work really well together.
What did you love about the piece when you first read it?
I loved how funny it was, but also it has an emotional depth to it that sneaks up on you. And one moment you can be laughing hysterically, and then the other moment you're crying, and it's really kind of, it takes you by surprise. And I love theater that does that has that extreme in it.
And talk about how this has touched audiences. The audience was weeping, laughing yesterday. They were on their feet at the end.
I think the audiences can really relate to this idea of the outsider, and also, you know, I think it's profound to think about how far one person's reach can go and how much of an impact you can have. And I think that's what people are responding to, and that's certainly one of the things I respond to. And so we've had a lot of incredible audiences, people standing, cheering, laughing. It's been a lot of fun.
What is it like for you sitting in the audience?
I never get tired of it. It's James does something every show that catches me by surprise, something new, some discovery every show, and I just love watching that.
Look at you. Here we are, opening night. How do you feel tonight?
I'm like a little weepy. It's so moving, the show. James has done such an amazing job, and it's grown a lot since downtown too. So I brought my mom and my girlfriend, and everyone was just like so touched. It was amazing.
It's such a beautiful piece. He is so incredible. I mean, talk about a tour de force performance.
I know. And what's amazing is that the first 20 or 30 minutes, it's a little bit of like a laugh riot because you're getting into him playing all these characters, and then it sinks in the profundity of the story that he's telling, and you hear the whole audience kind of go quiet and just really take it in, and it's a beautiful experience.
Your music is wonderful, underscoring through this show. Tell me.
It's really just little snippets, and it's more just like I'm lucky to be able to contribute little bits and pieces, and but there is a song at the very end of the show, so if you want to hang out and listen, you can hear the song.
What do you admire the most about James, and how did you two guys meet?
Well, we met because we're fellow Buddhists, and so we're kind of part of the Buddhist mafia, and in New York. And we've just been really good friends for a long time and hadn't really worked together. And this was just, James was like, I'm doing this little show downtown. Do you have some music for me? And I was like, of course, I'll give you anything you want. What do you. So I'm just honored to be like a very, very small part of this beautiful thing. And it's just it could, honestly, and everyone says this, but it could not, this exciting thing could not have happened to a more genius person. And so I'm just so thrilled for him and for people to be able to see the show.
Razor sharp on stage in the show. Your focus is amazing. Who was the easiest for you to capture character-wise, and who was the hardest?
They all have their own challenges, and they all have their own delights. But I happen to enjoy Marion Tochterman. She's the woman with the cigarette smoker, only because she touches me so deeply, but she also makes me laugh a lot. And she surprises me the most in terms of, like, wait a minute, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? And then she just does it and makes people laugh. So, not to sound like a crazy person, but like she runs me more than I run her.
Who was the hardest? Was there a hard one to grasp or to finalize?
Playing young people at this age is a challenge, mostly because there are almost always young people in the house, and young people have an amazing bullshit meter, and so I'm very careful, and it's a challenge. I'm playing somebody that I haven't been for many, many years.
You do it so well. Audiences are loving your show. What would you like them to walk away with after seeing this?
I just want people, there are two things. One of them is I would love people to be a little bit more encouraging of difference in their communities and in their environment. Really encouraging, especially young people, to not only encouraging them to be themselves, but also really looking out for them. Yeah. That's one. And the other thing is I'd like older people to actually be themselves more and more, which is the greatest thing that a young person can see, right? Yeah. It's the greatest thing that a young person can see is an older person just like being their like crazy, authentic self.
So when you took your bow tonight, opening your show uptown, do you remember what you were thinking?
Gratitude. Really gratitude to Daryl Roth and Darren Baggert and to all the producers who've been so loving and gracious in bringing this show to the people. It's so wonderful to share it with so many people. Come see the show. It's fun.